Welcome to the front porch, where we're shooting the breeze podcast style with Savannah's top thinkers and biggest barrier breakers, the quintessentially quirky and the perpetually hip.
Hello and welcome to the front porch. My name is B. Ray and we're here at the Creators Foundry today chatting it up with Ramsey Khalidi of the Southern Pine Company. Hey Ramsey.
How are you?
I'm super. How are you?
I'm great. I'll tell you by the end of the day, but so far it's good.
So far it's good. Well, you make the day brighter just by being here and we appreciate that. Tell me about the Southern Pine Company.
The Southern Pine Company actually originated in 1895.
Okay.
And I got permission from the family.
You don't look that old.
Still well. No, not. Well, feel little. It was the Southern Pine Company itself, the name or sort of the company originated during economic hard times. And so the idea was some of the leaders in Savannah got together, united, and created the Southern Pine Company. And the idea was instead of competition, they would unite and create products, millwork, timber, all kinds of goods and services that were sort of organic from Georgia to ship globally. It's a global idea.
And what are you doing today?
I hope I'm carrying on that same mission of identifying and sustainably recycling and resourcing materials that can build jobs, products, and a community.
So give me an example of where you might source some of your materials.
Great question. In the past, it's demolished buildings that were coming down. There was quite a bit of that when I moved to Savannah. And I am still a dumpster diver, and it happens. But it isn't just antique materials anymore. It can be anything from wire nuts to insulation to plyboard. But the Southern Pine Company is predominantly a wood-based reclamation and reuse materials company.
And what's an example of a product that you would offer?
We're remilling a lot of flooring. We do a lot of hotels and restaurants, bungalows, anything that's like kind to go back into a structure that would give it another 100 years or so. We like to source those materials and put them together with the owners of these buildings, the developers.
And you are not the Southern Pine Company is not the only company located at your facility. Who else is there?
Well, that's exactly the evolution of the Southern Pine Company. Actually, at a larger scale, has attracted, and we've gone out into the community and sought other companies that are similar in nature, that look at a sustainable sort of closed-loop cycle. Park Coffee is one. Labor Ready is a big one. There are a couple of professors that are there with studio space. Wes Stoneman, who builds things from pallets. Musicians, artists. We have a lot of events that showcase, new launches of AWOL spent some time there. Just any like kind, and actually not even like kind. We're finding that there's a bond. There's sort of a continuity or a unity of smaller startups, so that need equipment and space and infrastructure, and so it's a sharing idea, and it's worked out to be. It's actually taken on a life of its own. I really can't take credit for it.
Tell us what Labor Ready is.
Labor Ready is an amazing company. They're a Fortune 500, $3.5 billion a year company. They're owned by True Blue, and they have every level of they have aerospace, skilled, unskilled, training. So they're in the neighborhood of 35th and East Broad. So since that was an old factory, which was sort of a gathering point of workers, mostly blue collar workers, they bring them in, and it's from temp to permanent. So if you own a warehouse or if you manufacture transformers or whatever, airplanes, you can get that access to that manpower that normally, man and woman power, that normally isn't going to be able to reach out into the Pooler area or to South Carolina, or maybe to the new companies that are opening up in Richmond Hill.
Because they will actually get a bus to your location.
What's there? But a lot of it's local. It's local.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it. The bigger companies have this access to a local workforce.
So you got started, and then different people came along, and now you have this incredible pool of people who build off each other. Wonderful.
They do, yeah. Didn't quite plan it that way. He wasn't sure what was happening, but we all see. '08 was really a very detrimental to a lot of small business, and so.
'08, you're talking about the year 2008.
Yes, us too. We were in construction, we were in real estate development, we were in manufacturing, and the Southern Pine Company is 1/3 of that sort of triangle. But we realized there was no access, or very little access to capital. They're graduates. The College of Art and Design has been, wonderful. The idea of the college into the community, they have done a great job. As you know, Scott Wellston and Merchant Structures, which I've seen you speak about, and you and Scott are very good friends. Worked well. It worked well with that sort of, and then we did fundraising, and it just kind of built off that.
What has surprised you most about the Southern Pine Company?
Southern Pine Company, to reach back into history and have that foundation, that sort of metaphor of unity. It's actually, I've had a chance to kind of study Oglethorpe a little bit, and the founding of Savannah and Georgia with Trustees Gordon and the sustainable harvesting. They took 60 acres to build one British frigate, so they were very careful about not clear cutting any wood. And that's why we've got constant recycling of stands of wood that isn't just the squares, the green space, the urban design, the pattern. I know we're all going back to that. It's a trend. It's a national trend. And I heard a piece yesterday on public radio, and they were talking about cities like Detroit that actually had to collapse, almost 2/3. And what are they doing with that space, the urban space, and what's happening? I think Savannah has had that opportunity from its inception to see this blueprint and to live the blueprint. And so it is very cool to be a preservationist and have that actually be a new progressive thought.
Right.
Like the High Line in New York, like bringing back the rail. I see all these components in Savannah, and the Southern Pine Company is essentially just a part of all of it.
Well, we're so happy that you are. Ramsey, thank you for being
You're
part of the
awesome.
Creative Post today and part of the Front Porch.
Oh, are we still? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I apologize.
Thank you,
You're
dear.
wonderful, because what you're doing here is fantastic.
Well, we appreciate it.
No, it really is. It really is.